week now into an unexpected heat wave, likely due to the El Nino event that's happening this year. And in addition to having extremely high temperatures on land, we're also having really high sea temperatures. And so some of our long-term monitoring sites here off of Miami are starting to show signs of early coral bleaching. So they're starting to pale and losing their their algal pigments, and eventually we expect them to bleach fully. So where we used to have coral colonies that were landmarks because they were always there and we could set our compass by them, are no longer there because of stony coral tissue loss disease and Hurricane Ian that struck last year. And so now we're starting to see a change where we're losing coral and we're starting to just turn into sponge and soft coral reefs. And so what this means is that now is the time for action. We can't just be observing anymore and watching the decline of coral reef ecosystems. We need to be active participants in trying to save them. And so we're deep inside the port right now, and it's generally extremely turbid, warm, water sits here for a long time, so not what we would think to be a pristine coral reef habitat. But along this stabilized shoreline here where we have riprap or large boulders, we have corals that have settled and are thriving. These corals are some of the healthiest that I have seen all over Miami, and they grow incredibly large and seem to be healthy. And so the work that we're doing and what brought us out here today is we're trying to figure out how these corals have been able to survive and whether or not we can use those same mechanisms to make them be successful as part of coral restoration. So being able to take individuals from some habitats like these urban corals in our backyard here and then to populate them out onto the reef so that we can start to contribute to a more functioning, healthy population.
I am confident, not just hopeful, but confident that the science that has been conducted here at Mote, we have outplanted resilient genetic strains of coral, of these slow-growing massive corals. We've outplanted them, and they have withstood over a 5-year period 2 coral bleaching events, a Category 4 hurricane that went right over the top of it, and stony coral tissue loss disease. These coral fragments that we put out there survived all of that, killed all the coral around it. What we have put out survived. Not only did it survive, but it did what our end goal is. We want to restore corals and these coral reefs in a manner in which they can now take on their own replication and put us out of business. And we don't want to be in the business of restoring corals for the rest of our lives. We want to get them back so that they can really replicate themselves in a natural manner, and we can focus our science on other issues after that.